Hello YouTube and welcome back for another video. Gonna do something a little different today. We're still waiting for news on the Separatist expansion pack for Armada, and while we're waiting for that, I figured now is as good a time as any to address a comment that's come up in one of my previous videos. First, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's watched my videos, commented, subscribed, liked the videos. I honestly did not expect these videos to get any views at all, and the views it did get I assumed would come from YouTube bots. They were just trolling for copyrighted material. The fact that I'm getting hundreds of views of people who were commenting and subscribing and liking the videos tells me that I'm actually, getting this out there, which is just, it's so exciting for me. I can't tell you how thrilled I am. As I said, I did not expect to have any traction with these videos at all. So the fact that people are actually commenting and liking the videos, it just means so much to me. So thank you all so much for that. So a couple weeks ago, I put out a video about ships to avoid when playing Star Wars Armada. And these were ships that were really just kind of bad, looking at you, Interdictor Combat Refit, or they were ships that were just kind of suboptimal when building lists due to their point costs, which was the other three. And the two ships that really garnered attention in the comments section were the Imperial 1 Star Destroyer and the Rebels Assault Frigate Mark II-A. And I'll get to the Assault Frigate in a little bit here, because the AF2A is, well, it's a really interesting topic, and that's really going to comprise the most of the video. But I just wanted to briefly touch on the Imperial 1 Star Destroyer really quickly. The reason I want to talk about the ISD-1 really quickly is because mea culpa, I forgot about BTA. How could I forget about Boarding Troopers Adventure? So I'm not going to spend too much time on this just because everyone knows what Boarding Troopers Adventure does. ISD-1 is great for it because it has a squadron value of 4. Personally, when I run BTA, I prefer to use a Kuat. But ISD-1, I feel, now that looking at it here, it's just as valid in my opinion. It's an amazing combo, and I totally should have mentioned it in my Ships to Avoid video, and the fact that I didn't is kind of inexcusable. So, ISD-1, definitely viable with BTA. Now, when I talked about the Assault Frigate Mark II-A in my Ships to Avoid video, my decision to put it in that list boils down to I feel the ship is too expensive. In my opinion, 81 points is too expensive for this ship. And I still believe that, but there are a number of comments talking about using local fire control to sort of increase the value of that extra blue dice in your rear arc. So I want to talk about that because that actually is a pretty interesting idea. And that idea revolves around using local fire control in tandem with Paragon. Local fire control reads, after you deploy, you must replace one of your defense tokens with a salvo defense token. That's a pretty solid 4-cost upgrade. Swap out your evade with a salvo, brace, salvo, redirect. Yeah, that's a pretty good combo. That's exactly what's on an Onager, so yeah. Paragon, while attacking a ship you have already attacked this round, add 1 black die to your attack pool. Now, quick note, a ship you have already attacked, you referring to this assault frigate in particular. Just want to clarify that because I've seen a couple comments online asking about, does this mean another friendly ship attacks it, so Paragon then gets the black dice? No, it's not Defiance levels of good. But still, this is pretty good. Paragon got a lot better with local fire control. It used to be if you're double arcing a ship, your second attack with the double arc gets an extra black die. Now it's that, plus if you're salvoing someone you've already attacked, your salvo attack gets an extra black die. This means that your assault frigate gets a lot more prickly, a lot more difficult to deal with. On this example, I threw in electronic countermeasures just to guarantee the salvo, and link turbo laser towers just because we can't run Kakin and Sholin, and if we roll 3 red dice out of the side arc, we all know 2 of them are going to be blank. So I just threw those on there. You can put other upgrades on there. I just think, 14 points is fairly reasonable expectation for a lot of other upgrades to throw on this ship. But I still feel this is a suboptimal choice. I'm definitely running this because this actually looks really interesting to me, and I have an Assault Frigate Mark II-A alternate art ship card, and any excuse I can get to use that card, I will take. But I still feel it's suboptimal. This build here just assuming 14 extra points of upgrades on top of local fire control and Paragon puts us at 104 points for this ship alone. 104 points. That is the cost of a naked MC-75 armored cruiser. Now, I would rather have this than a naked MC-75 armored cruiser. Even still, this is a very expensive ship at 104 points. And I definitely think there are more optimal choices to bring in a list. But GG, I hear you say, which ship is so much more optimal than this thing? It's only 104 points. That's an assault frigate with local fire control to give it salvo and Paragon. It's salvoing you for 4 dice. It's a consistent 4 dice thanks to linked turbo laser towers. Which ship is so much better to put into It's Landonition. Of course it's Landonition. You can't throw a stone in our Armada tournament without hitting 3 players, all with Lando freaking Nition. You take an MC-30 torpedo frigate, you take Lando Calrissian, you take ordnance experts, either assault proton torpedoes or assault concussion missiles, H9 turbo lasers, and the admonition title. It charges a Star Destroyer, the Star Destroyer can't kill it and takes a crap ton of damage. In response, your opponent is then allowed to curl up into the fetal position and cry. This ship, everyone loves playing it because it's stupid powerful. Everyone hates playing against it because it's stupid powerful. This ship, whenever I've tried multiple times over the years to try and get a really good list involving an assault frigate Mark IIA put together, because I've got that alternate art card for the Mark IIA. I want to use that alt art card, but I can't because this thing is just so much better to put into lists. And while occasionally I'll want to run a fluffier list or a gimmicky list, this thing is just so much stronger. Now, you're probably wondering at this point, wait a minute, yes, Landonition is stupidly strong, but we were talking a lot about salvo. Is this thing really that much better than the 4 salvo? I mean, yes, it's very difficult to kill, but what makes the Mark IIA difficult to kill is that it's prickly. It's salvoing you for 4 dice, 2 red, a blue, and a black. This thing doesn't have salvo. What gives? And also, why are you running cluster bombs? That's a bit of a weird choice, isn't it? Well, the answer to both of those questions is the same. I'm not running cluster bombs at all. Haha, no. 'Twas an elaborate ruse, you see. You've all been tricked, confounded, and bamboozled. No, this is a placeholder for a defensive retrofit upgrade that has not been released yet, and if you've seen my last video on the Galactic Republic expansion, you probably know where this is going. Reactive gunnery. Yes. While defending, you may exhaust this card and spend a ready defense token to resolve the salvo defense effect instead of that token's effect. You cannot resolve the salvo defense effect more than once per attack. Alright, I hear you say. So Landonition is 8 points cheaper, and now it has a salvo. But the assault frigate has a much better salvo. 2 red, a blue, and a black is much better than just a blue and a black. Doesn't that make the assault frigate the better choice defensively? Well, not necessarily. See, on average, a single red die will deal 0.75 damage to enemy ships. Blue die is the same, 0.75, and a black die is 1 damage. Now, the value of the red dice here will be slightly higher thanks to linked turbo laser towers. But if we assume averages plus a little extra thanks to LTTs, we will see about 3.75 damage on average from an assault frigate Mark IIA with local fire control Paragon on each salvo against enemy ships. With a Landonition, it's obviously much worse. Taking those same values plus a little extra thanks to ordnance experts, we can expect to see around 2 damage per salvo attack from Landonition. So now you're thinking, okay, 1.75 damage more per salvo on average by the assault frigate. Does that make up for the 8-point deficit here? Well, Landonition has many defensive options, and by many I mean 3. It can go up to speed 4, something the assault frigate cannot do. Lando Calrissian allows you to force your opponent to reroll whichever and as many dice as you want, and Admonition allows you to discard individual dice if there's an uncomfortable critical hit in there somewhere. So in summary, while yes, I definitely will be trying the assault frigate Mark IIA with local fire control and Paragon, I still feel that it is a suboptimal choice compared to things like Landonition. But that's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong about this. Am I overplaying how strong Landonition is? I don't know. Let me know. I haven't been able to try out this Paragon local fire control build yet, and I really want to at this point. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Are there any other Armada topics you'd like me to cover? Let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.